So, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this illuminating fireside chat on future trends in analytics, anticipating the next wave. I'm Amit Singh from Tech Plus Media and CXO TV. In this fireside chat, we will explore the horizon of future trends in analytics. We would also look forward to dissecting emerging technologies, methodologies, and disruptive innovations that will shape the future of data analytics. So I'm delighted to have with us today a distinguished expert in the field. He is Mr. Srinivaschary T. He's the lead solution architect at Dell Technologies. He has a deep understanding of the AI and IT landscape in India. Currently, he drives key technology-based solutions like HPC, AI/ML, big data analytics based solutions for Indian markets and consult to provide architectures for successful implementation of analytics strategies. So, Chari, very warm welcome to this fireside chat. It's a pleasure to have you here today.
Hey, thank you so much, Amit. It's my pleasure as well, and great talking to you today.
Perfect. So let's dive right into the discussion. So to set the stage, can you provide an overview of the current state of analytics and how it has evolved over the years, leading us to the brink of the next wave of transformative trends?
Hey, sure, Amit. And as you rightly said, it is the wave of the next transformative trend. But let me, before answering this question, let me probably talk to you about a quick search that I did on my phone earlier today. And you know what? Google search today has got a generative answer to my search. Imagine the power that it has got to transform the search that I'm doing on my phone. Now, this power, when translated to organizations, with their context, with their culture, that the data can be generated, data can be brought in, or the analytics can be brought in. Imagine the power the organization now has for its transformation, whether it is creating newer products for customer stickiness or creating or optimizing their operations. But let me tell you, this has not been, a journey that has happened overnight. It has taken some time, multi-decades, if not. We go back to the days of MIS. We would just simply digitize the data, bring it electronic, and the data would then be provided to select few within the organization who would look at the data and then take decisions. Still, the human context was very high in decision-making as against a machine which would generate the data. Fast forward a little bit, we had data warehouses and data marts and other things that came into play, where we would still move to some sort of, from descriptive to predictive, and yet the data would be presented, and based on rules engines, the decisions could be taken. The capability of machines had increased, and yet the human efficiency or human requirement also was still there. Fast forward a little bit with the advent of, the boom that we've got in AI, ability to create better algorithms, availability of accelerators, and now with, data that is available, a humongous amount of data and evolution of AI that happened, we are now moving towards prescriptive and cognitive analytics. Fast forward a little more that is happening with ChatGPT coming through a year back. The overall, the way organizations look at analytics has changed, and it now is no longer at supporting the business, but it sits along with the business to help business make right decisions. And that's the transformation that we are seeing in the analytics landscape. Amit.
Exactly. Very well said. So, as the business landscape evolves, what happens that organizations face newer complexities in decision making and operations? Okay, so could you shed some light on common challenges that organizations encounter in today's dynamic environment, which is actually necessitating the adoption of analytic solutions for effective data driven decision making and operational efficiency.
Sure. And one of the big challenges or opportunities that I would say is that technology is evolving at a pace that it is extremely difficult to catch up with. Something that was valid and viable a year back, today there are better processes, better technologies, better methodologies available. So that ever evolving landscape on technology and how do organizations keep up with it is one of the key challenges that I'm seeing in the market when I speak to multiple customers. The other thing today, as we are seeing, organizations are becoming a lot more data centric. The decisions are based on the insights identified from the data that they have, and actions could be taken on that. Now, this availability of the right kind of data within an organization is one of the other key challenges that I have seen. Data does exist inside an organization, but it is in silos. It is with different departments. How do you bring them together? How do you make sure that data is, in the right format so that when it gets analyzed, the outcomes make sense? Otherwise, what happens, you've got, it is a very common saying that they say garbage in, gospel out. If you don't have the right kind of data and the outcome, if you just blindly believe it, it could actually lead you into more trouble than actually helping your organization. So this availability of data is one of the key things that I have seen. More so that I'm seeing now is with the explosion of this technology and many people evaluating this, the key resources, the people, the right kind of people becomes a huge challenge for organizations to address. What has happened is you need a good blend of domain skill set of the problem that you're solving. You need a good brain for the computing or the IT side that is required, and then the skill set on databases and that the overall skill set required is a little more complex than what it used to be earlier. And believe me, when we say India has got the second largest pool of talent, and with the explosion that we are seeing today, we still believe there is a lot more scope of developing this talent for the right kind of analytics that we are looking to do in the next couple of years. So these are some of the challenges that I'm seeing very clearly for organizations to plan better for their analytics journey.
Okay, so we are seeing that augmented analytics is something which is gaining prominence. So can you elaborate on the transformative potential of augmented analytics and how it enhances the traditional data analysis capabilities, making insights more accessible and actionable?
Absolutely. And again, let me just take you back to the journey of evolution of analytics. As we said, in the earlier times, there used to be a separate team which would focus on identifying analytics, identifying insights and giving it to the businesses separately. The data analytics team would be different. What has happened is this augmented analytics has been there for some time now, for about 4 or 5 years, but its prominence has gained, especially from the last 1 year, that we are seeing evolution of large language models and things like that. What it has done is it has given abilities for a non-technical person to talk to a technical database. Today you no longer need to code a query to get a response from the databases or data sets that you have, but a simple, English language or the language that somebody prefers, the question can be asked in that language. It gets translated into a computing language and a query, and the response comes in a form that is easily comprehensible, easily understandable, and a very, very simplistic way that anybody and everybody can use to take decisions out of it. So this is a power that augmented analytics is bringing onto the table. How does this help? The power to make decisions no longer relies only at a core, which sometimes when they have to take strategic decisions, it still makes sense. But for transactional analytics, for transactional operational challenges that needs to be solved, decisions need to happen when the event is happening, or when they are facing a challenge. when you do something like augmented analytics, the team closer to operations now have the power to go ahead and get insights, right insights from the data sets they have and take actions. So this brings in agility inside the organization thanks to augmented analytics.
Exactly. Exactly. So we are seeing that AI has been a hot topic, and AI is becoming increasingly integrated into analytics processes. Okay. So how do you envision AI-infused analytics impacting predictive modeling and decision making, and what benefits does this integration brings to the organization?
Totally. Now, technology in its isolation will only yield benefit that is good for research. If the technology can be leveraged by businesses or by organizations to create a cutting edge for them against their competitors, that is when it actually makes sense. Now, with evolution of AI, through generative AI over the last year at least, that gives a tremendous power for businesses to work together. In isolation, if a project is done in isolation, generally I have seen it never succeeds. Many a times I've seen it starts with businesses identifying a problem that they are facing and evaluating whether AI or generative AI is the right way to solve it. What we are doing over here is basically converting a business problem into a data science problem. And then through data science, that is by leveraging technologies like AI or traditional analytics, which could be machine learning and so on and so forth, find and solve that data science problem to an outcome. And then the outcome is actually leveraged back into the business, is when you complete the cycle of converting a problem into a solution for the business to gain that critical edge. So that is where a handshake between these two has to happen, technology and business. And as you rightly said, with the transformation and evolution that we are seeing in analytics, and it is getting a lot more closer to the business than ever before.
So if we look at data democratization, it is a key concept in fostering a data-driven culture. Yes. So how can organizations effectively implement data democratization to make analytics accessible across all levels? And what impact does it have on organizational decision making?
Absolutely. And as you said, this is a data-driven organization. If the right teams don't have the right set of data, then the analysis is not just going to be so fruitful. Ability to have the right kind of data across multiple departments. How do I democratize the data that is available in silos inside an organization to bring it together and provision it or provide it to multiple teams so that they can independently analyze and derive insights for their streams that they are analyzing? It becomes extremely critical how this democratization or availability of data across multiple departments can be brought together for analysis is one of the aspects. The other aspect that I see is many a times data is provisioned or access to data is limited to a certain few specialists inside the organizations. Now with augmented analytics and other technologies that are coming through, if you are able to provide the same data or the regular set of data to the user, then the decision can be made even more locally, even more in a more smarter way that they can go ahead and impact it much sooner than what would have happened rather earlier with centralized decision making that is happening. So data democratization actually helps clearly in two ways. One, you get the right set of data for the organizations. The way to do it is we have seen many organizations are deploying something called as a data lake house, that is ingesting data from different sources, bringing it all together, whether it is factory data, whether it is customer service data that they have, or MIS production data, supply chain data, all of it together, sales, CRM data, so that it can be analyzed holistically, allowing tribal knowledge of the organization to get digitized and then go analyze out of it. So data democratization brings this power to transform the tribal knowledge that is available residing in individuals to digitize and then make a process out of it.
Very good. Very good. So, means now what is happening that a major challenge that organizations face is due to their legacy systems. Okay. So in the context of rapidly evolving analytics landscape, how can organizations balance the need for innovation with the practical considerations of legacy systems, ensuring a seamless integration of new analytics trends without disrupting their existing operations?
You're right. I mean, with whatever something new that technology has, that comes into the market, how the organizations are in a conundrum. They are in confusion on how to go adopt this technology while they have an older stack, with themselves. Let me address it from the infrastructure side. Today, if you have a server or a storage, or a server specifically, which is about 7 or 8 years old, 8 such servers can actually be consolidated into a single server in the current generation that we have, not compromising in the amount of outcome or the analytics that it can do. Plus, availability of accelerators coming through AMD, NVIDIA, or even Intel. How do they use this newer technology? Because they are actually operating on a newer PCIe or dedicated lanes that they require on an older system. You can still continue with the older systems for analytics. It might take 10, 12 days for the output to come. However, if you switch to a newer technology that is available, leverage accelerators in the analytics process, what would happen is something that would take 10, 12 days today can be done in 2, 3 hours. Now, organizations will have to go ahead and weigh and identify whether this decision making in 2, 3 hours outweighs the delay on decision by days. Which one makes sense? How can they effectively utilize their engineers? How can they effectively utilize their team members? Is a question that businesses need to ask themselves and then find an answer to it. But one of the ways to do it is you have an older system, go build a parallel system along with it to ensure that both the systems are active at the same time. And then all the newer transactions go on the newer ones, and then slowly, find a way to take the older system out, and then the newer technology gets established. That's one of the ways that we have seen that works very successfully, rather than doing a 0 and 1 between the.
Absolutely. So, coming to the last question of this conversation. So if we move forward, looking ahead, what are the emerging trends and technologies do you foresee shaping the future of analytics? Means I'm talking about maybe 3 to 5 years from now. Okay, so right now we are seeing a huge impact from AI, generative AI. Okay, so but if we look at a scenario 3 years ahead or maybe 5 years ahead, so what are the emerging technologies, emerging trends that you see that would shape the future of analytics?
Sure. And as you rightly said, 3 to 5 years is a decent horizon for us to look at, especially when we are seeing evolution of technology, happening over the last few months that we are seeing. One of the ways that I would look in real short term, which is 1 to 2 years, is all the projects that are doing proof of concepts on AI will move into production. So that is something that we will see. And once we see adoption of generative AI in real life, in production scale at organizations, the next step that would get evolved is how this gets deployed at multiple locations at edge technology, at edges where the data is created. So we will see edge is something that will get more strength, especially with 5G rollouts and things like that happening within the organization, within the country. We will see edge as one of the key areas where technologies will get deployed. But when 3 to 5 years, we are seeing a lot of, I'm seeing a lot of strength in quantum technologies that are coming up. So quantum-based analytics, quantum-based security, quantum-based AI is something that I'm seeing how the analytics will get transformed or evolved in the next 3 to 5 years. Today, we are already seeing a 600 qubit system that is built up. So this technology will be ready for use, maybe 3 short-term, 5 definitely yes, on how organizations will adopt quantum as a technology. The other thing that I'm seeing very clearly is, we are doing augmented analytics, but then this happening real time at augmented reality, virtual reality, blending of both the worlds together is something that while everybody is talking about it, how it can happen, but it will be a reality in another 3 to 4 years is what I believe. So yeah, exciting times, the way technology is evolving. At sometimes what you are anticipating will take 10 years, suddenly takes 2 years, and the world changes really fast for us.
Exactly. So fantastic insights, Srinivas. Thanks a lot. Thank you for sharing your experience with us today. It's been a really and truly enlightening discussion on the future of trends in analytics. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our fireside chat. A big thank you to Mr. Srinivaschary for being here today with us. We hope you all find this discussion insightful and valuable. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
For more updates from CXO TV, please like and subscribe to our channel.